What is going on? And welcome back to episode 11 of the Noble Steady Sorta Sports Talk. Today, we're going to go back to the wide world of wrestling, and we'll touch on some other stuff as well. But that's going to be our main focus today. We just had Money in the Bank and a very interesting episode of Raw that happened 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago as time of this recording. Sorry, I do know my days. It's your main man Tyler, and with my buddy Joey. How's it going today, Joey?
I hope nobody saw that. Almost ripped my headphone out of the thing right here. Everything is great in the world of professional wrestling. It is back. I think it is fully back. We have started to pay off some of these storylines that we had coming out of WrestleMania. Now we are going to start setting up the next one. Oh my God, it's glorious.
Yes, it's. I think Michael Cole said it best at the end of WrestleMania 40. Pro wrestling's back, or was that Pat McAfee? Because I'm sorry, maybe
No,
Pat McAfee.
I think Michael Cole said pro wrestling is awesome.
Is awesome, yeah.
Yes,
that's what it was. Yes, and it is. It's finally. It feels like it's back. There's continuity to the storylines and it's easy to be invested nowadays, right? I think that was always the big issue. And yes, we know it's scripted. Yes, we know I'm going to say it's choreographed, but it's athletic drama at its finest.
Think of it like this. Think of it like this. You go watch the Avengers, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to see that live.
No.
You go see, you might see like a soap opera live, Broadway.
Yeah, it's a stage show. I got what you're saying.
But you're not going to see the Avengers live.
No, you have to suspend your disbelief.
This is the closest you're going to get to seeing the Avengers live.
Yeah, some of them do look like superheroes there.
The best story I could tell with this comparison. So when back in the Monday Night Wars, I was like 8 or 9, me and my dad would watch it. And my mom would tape the soap operas on CBS in the morning. Like she'd set the timer on the VCR. I'm going to date myself a little bit here. She would set the timer on the VCR to start at 11 o'clock, to end at 12 o'clock, to skip the news. No, take that back. She would go 11 to 3 because the news would be on it. She'd start it at 11, ended at 3. Set it to a certain way so she could get more on the tape, so she would guarantee all of her shows would make it. When she'd get home from work, she'd watch the news and then put that right on and watch that all night. And I'm like, why? So one day, man, we were living in a 2-story house. My mom came downstairs. Me and my dad were in the living room watching WCW. And she comes in. She goes, y'all are watching that fake crap again? And my dad, to his credit, goes, yeah, and the stuff you watch is real? So she was quiet. A couple weeks later, same scenario. We're watching WCW. She comes downstairs. Y'all are watching wrestling again? Ugh. And so my dad goes, hey, babe, why don't you call your sister so she could come over? We could have some fun. And my mom was taking, I was there when he said it. My mom was taken aback, like, I'm sorry, what did you say? Yeah, I mean, if all the shit that happens in your show is real, I mean, come on. She never brought that up again. She never complained that we were watching wrestling again.
I mean, I guess not. I get it. I get it.
It was a perfect answer.
Perfect response. Look, that's why I love your dad. He is one. He is definitely a character, if I could ever say so, yes. of anybody, for sure. So let's get into it, bud. One of my favorite pay-per-views of the year, or premium live events, I should say now. We'll get with the time.
I'm just going to call them pay-per-views. That's what I grew up on.
No, Joey, we have to adjust.
PLEs.
We have PLEs, buddy. PLEs.
It sounds like something to protect you from COVID, but we're going to call it a PLE.
No, those are PPEs, sir.
Yes.
Anyway, we digress. And like I said, one of my favorite PLAs of the year. Usually sets up a time, multiple different storylines. Always builds intrigue when you get the Money in the Bank winner. When are they going to cash in? It's just a great pay-per-view to be a part of, and it's just the way it kind of sets up other things that are exciting in the world of WWE.
This reminds me. So you and I set up our predictions prior to the event. And
Yes,
send
yes,
them
we
to
did.
each other. We're gonna go through them really fast. It's not gonna take very long. I just gotta find the picture. Here it is. Okay, so you picked. Okay, we're gonna go in order of the matches, the way
Okay.
they happen.
So the first
So-
one we got is the Money in the Bank men's ladder match.
You and I agreed that Drew McIntyre was gonna win.
I think we could both. So we'll stop here real quick.
Yeah, let's
Break it
go over
down.
this match. I'm just as we go through the matches,
As we go through our picks, we'll go through the matches.
Okay.
So my logic behind that was, they're really building up this story with Drew, and the way they kept hinting at CM Punk, I just had a feeling that his quote unquote prophecy that he foretold leading up to Money in the Bank of him getting it, cashing in, and walking out of Money in the Bank with the title, I was like, man, this just feels like a prime spot for CM Punk to screw him out of the championship again. Spoiler alert, that's what happened later on in the show. But in this match, man, I got to say, so one of my favorite spots, and if you can suspend your disbelief, is the spot where you have Andrade on the ladder. And I want to say it's Jey Uso on his back, but yet there's a and then on the other side of the ladder is Carmelo Hayes, and you see the ladder bridge in between the ropes and the ladder. I'm like, we all know what was coming, but oh my goodness, the way you could just perform a sunset flip powerbomb onto a ladder is insane to me. And they pulled it off flawlessly. Hats off to, and they did a few spots, Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, where it was just like, I think they did a Spanish fly onto a ladder as well.
They did it off the second rope onto a ladder.
Yeah. And buddy, I could hear you from my house where I was watching it. Verbatim.
Ow.
Same tone and everything. Like, I'm pretty sure I heard Carmelo Hayes saying that when they did a close-up on him after that spot happened.
Every time we watch a wrestling match, there's times where like something will happen, it'll be like, that would hurt if it was like, you're not preparing yourself.
Yeah.
So I look at it and I just start thinking, ow, that hurts so bad. So I just let out this long ow.
That's the first recorded one on here.
Yes.
I want to say first of many.
If we ever do one live, if we do a live episode and you see, and we're watching a PLE or anything, you will hear it. It will happen.
Definitely, for sure. So some other
Also,
really interesting. Go ahead.
Also, did you see Chad Gable suplex a ladder?
Yes, I did. You see, I'm glad you talked about Chad Gable. Okay. Again, they gave him another little run with the Chaos Theories, suplexing everybody, and he takes the straps down. I really think they need to get rid of that unless it's the end of the match, because not too much longer after that. I don't know what just happened there. Excuse me for a second. Anyway, not too much longer after that. I don't remember who it was. I want to say LA Knight. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on it. But I know they grabbed the back of his trunks and pulled him, and we just got a whole bunch of Chad Gable backside that we did not need to see.
We saw him at the Olympic weigh-in, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, it was not like it was almost as bad as when AJ ripped his pants in like 2016, and they had to do the entire match with just a hole.
He just had like
right
a hole
in his hole.
Yeah.
A
hole by his hole.
A hole by his hole. Holy moly, man.
They need that clip of Nia Jax falling on the ring apron during the Thunderdome and just yelling out, "My hole!" is gonna live forever in my head.
Oh, that's a Vince McMahon special, though, dude. That's so Vince McMahon.
I will say that I did find it funny every time they showed the briefcase that it was sponsored by Vought.
Yep.
Which is the company from The Boys.
It's
like that's next level.
Well, The Boys were sponsoring the event, so it was hilarious.
I do have the highlights. I do have the highlights of Money in the Bank going on my phone right now.
Okay.
And they just showed the sunset flip power bomb to the ladder.
Gnarly, man.
He ate all of that ladder.
He did. And look, and hats off to Andrade too, because he is full out sitting. Like, imagine dropping from a top of the ladder to land on another ladder split-legged
Oh yeah.
on your ass.
I
Like, that's
will say though, like, looking at more of the match, Chad Gable, probably aside from that sunset flip powerbomb, probably had the worst bump out of everybody. I want to know if you know what I'm talking about.
I don't, but I'm going to ask you, what about that LA Knight bump over the
Over the rope
suplex
onto the ladder? Yeah, that was a good one, but no. Chad Gable's hanging from the
yeah, okay.
And for some reason he just I guess he was meant to let go. And when he landed, no, it wasn't even that. When he landed, he did this. And he landed face first onto the mat. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that dude broke his nose. And he got it. And you see him still, he's still kind of like holding his face. But he didn't protect his head. He went down. He went down and it was just face.
Oh, no, I thought he got his hands up. I could have sworn he got his hands up.
No.
I could be wrong, but I could have sworn he got his hands up. But no, like, so what had, like, the way I saw it was they took the ladder, Jay took the ladder out from him, and he swung a little bit, and he was swinging, but he let go on the backswing, right? And I get it. It's kind of hard if you do it on the front swing because you don't want to land on your back, but that's a gnarly
I'm checking it now.
Take that bump. I'm fairly certain.
Okay, so what he did was he was swinging, he stopped swinging, and he didn't want to land on his legs like Edge did in that cage match. And so he kicked his legs back, let go, and just momentum just carried him, and he over-rotated slightly. That just hurts my face.
Do you think if Shorty G was bigger, he would the momentum would have flattened him out a little bit?
No, he probably would have landed on his neck.
That's true. That's very true. Okay, well, that's just not funny anymore. Anyway, as we move on, the end of the match kind of rolls along. You think, I believe it's Jay, right? Was when they were teasing was going to have it, and then McIntyre came in and stole it at the very end.
Yeah.
All right. So we have to have a real talk about Jay real quick, and I want to get you on this.
And just so you know, that match was 16 minutes and 30 seconds.
God, that's a quick Money in the Bank ladder match.
I looked at every single time frame of like all the times on the matches based on Wikipedia, but I feel like they've got that right.
Yeah.
Only one match went longer than 20 minutes.
And boy, did it feel like 20 minutes.
It was 5. There were 5 matches. Every single one of them, that whole thing could have been an hour and a half.
So, and that's I was going to get to that a little bit later when we start talking about like
we'll touch on
retirement.
That
yeah, we'll touch on that.
Yeah,
I do agree with you. This is a very light show. But yeah, your Money in the Bank ladder match winner is Drew McIntyre. We both called it. I think it was the right choice. Now there could be some debate about whether how he cashes in later is a spoiler alert was the right call or not. But it's Drew McIntyre is your winner. Thoughts on the match, Joey, overall, before we move on?
It was very entertaining. It did what a ladder match does. It gets you your spots. It starts out kind of rough. Then once you introduce a ladder, it's here we go. I think honestly they need to start introducing the ladder later.
Yeah.
I think the biggest what's happening is you're rushing the match along. These matches used to be longer. If I remember correctly, the first few ladder matches were longer than 15 minutes. Now, I'm not saying that they need to do more spots. I think it's just make it more of a grind and less of a spot fest.
I was just about to say, I felt like they had a checklist.
I love the spots, but get them to fight on the ramp a little bit. Get them to, have the ladders in the ring, but they're like doing tope suicidas out of the ring, or jumping over the top rope and landing on everybody. Like, do those kind of spots.
You want a little more story.
Yeah, like give it some flavor, or not flavor. Give it some give it content. Like,
yeah,
drive the story along. Don't like right now. Like, of that match, who's in a like. Are any of them going to feud? LA Knight's already setting up him and
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul. Carmelo Hayes is just kind of there.
Earn his stripes right now.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of it too.
I would say so. Yeah.
Jey
Definitely.
Uso, he's main event.
So-
Jey Uso trying to avoid the Fireflies.
Can I
Go
stop
ahead.
you real quick on Jey Uso?
Mm-hmm.
I think where we are running dangerously close into territory of how Bray Wyatt was during his first run, right? Where every single time he got in a feud or had a big match, he's entertaining as hell, but he is never going to win it. And I feel like we are approaching very dangerous territory with that right now.
I'll give him a break now on that. Because what are we leading into?
Well, we're going to go to the bloodline.
Right. So
Civil War.
I think that for right now, like it's okay that he's doing that. Because he needs to be set up for the future. Have that storyline ready to go because he's gonna have another big run with Roman and all that. So
are you thinking like they're trying to keep him relevant?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which I mean,
I can see that.
Which I mean, he's over as hell. So I don't think he's ever going to hit. I don't think he's ever going to hit that Bray Wyatt level, where it's like we just don't know what to do with him, kind of.
Yeah, like we'll put him. He's a good promo. We'll put him in a feud, but he's going to lose at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my opinion.
He'll get his flowers eventually.
Oh yeah.
I think it's just going to be down the road, not now.
So back to kind of going where you're going with this, I will say the only person on this list that was in this match that I can kind of consider like rudderless, doesn't really have a clear direction on where they're going next, is Andrade.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though,
at least right now,
right? Like he always just seems like a guy that Triple H has in his back pocket. That's like, hey, I need a hand that's going to put on a good match. Here, let me put Andrade. But he always just doesn't feel like he has that story behind it. Like, man, back when he was back in NXT with him and Selena, that was such a match made in heaven. Where she was his mouthpiece.
I honestly think they're waiting for Charlotte to come back.
And that would be awesome if they did that with Charlotte.
But I worry about, are they going to overdo the couples? Like,
I mean,
if for some reason Buddy Matthews comes back to WWE, that's him and Rhea.
I don't know if they completely
Montez Ford and Bianca. You know what I mean? And then like if Becky Lynch comes back with Seth.
Well, I think the Bianca one, don't they have a show together or they're doing a show?
Mm-hmm.
So that's more of just they're looking to make more money off of it. I don't know. I think the only one that we could really say they may not do a couple thing with is Rhea, just because of all the Dominic stuff going on, which we will get to.
Well, sorry, I was eating an Airhead. It was tempting right in front of me. So I think that it's like right now it's rumors. Buddy Matthews has a couple years left on his contract.
Yes,
from what I've heard. So I think it was just an article that was a pipe dream that people just ran with.
Oh, yeah. So let's move right along here, bud.
Yeah.
Keep this going. So the next match is your Intercontinental Champion, Sami Zayn, going up against the challenger, Bron Breakker. And I believe that I had Bron Breakker, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, you did. You had Braun. I had Sami.
Okay. So for
and
Sami
just to say,
was the winner.
The reason I picked Sami was because yes, Bron Breakker will win titles. Yes, Bron Breakker will be phenomenal. I think eventually he will become like the current day Brock Lesnar.
I think so. That's where they're trying to go.
But they want to give a run to Sami. They want this thing to go.
Oh, and I don't hate that whatsoever. I just put my Booker cap on and was like, oh, he's been killing everybody.
It also, if I'm gonna, think business wise, why would we do a comedy show with Sammy and have him lose the belt the same weekend?
That's true. That is very true.
If he drops, it may be at SummerSlam.
I can see that.
It may be at one of these other PLEs, maybe Bash at Berlin.
Bad Blood. I mean, they got a bunch coming up.
Yeah, so I mean, there's ample opportunity for him to lose it. It's just I don't think it's going to be now. I don't think it's really going to be next month. I think September at the earliest, maybe October. But we'll see.
The only reason I'm saying that is because Braun was on he was just destroying people. They're building him up as unbeatable. So I didn't know if they're going to just make him lose that quickly. But I also feel like Sammy's always going to be that guy that's kind of floating around the upper mid card. So this is usually a time of year after SummerSlam. We kind of hit a little bit of a dead period between now and between then and November when we have Survivor Series. So that's usually a good time to have him have a main event run real quick, right? Like maybe PLE against Gunther again if Gunther takes the title off of Priest. That's where my head's kind of at. Because you do need a face to go against Gunther. I don't hate. The match was awesome. The match was very very good.
It was a great match. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I did like the Braun running around the ring. Sammy jumping over him, and he stopped. Like, hey, I've been here before.
Exactly. I will have to say, in defeat, they made Braun look great. He's got future star written all over him. I couldn't agree more with the Brock Lesnar comparison. Love Sami Zayn. I think he plays the underdog so well.
Yes.
And he is a good guy. He has finally hit his gotten over the hill, finally. And he's kind of set himself for I think for the rest of his career. He'll always be a good guy. It's going to be very hard for him to go heel again.
I don't say this about a lot of people, but I do kind of wish he would trim his beard a little bit. He still kind of looks like a homeless guy.
I think that's some of the appeal, though, man.
Remember when he went through his conspiracy theory, character. Like he still kind of has that with him.
Oh, it's definitely thick and full and red.
I saw a video of him from when he was in NXT when he was like cleaner shaven and everything. And I'm like, there's no way that's the same person.
And short hair, dude. I was watching when he was a trio with who was it? Cesaro and Nakamura, and he had that short. It was back in 2020, real quick, and he had that short hair, and he just was starting to grow the beard out. I'm like, dude, he doesn't even look the same.
He was wearing that hat, and that's when he started bringing up AEW, and he was like,
yes,
I could even talk about AEW.
Yes.
That was a wild time.
Wild time to be alive, man.
Yeah,
wild time. Oh gosh. So let's I don't really have anything else to add to this.
It was a solid match.
Very solid match. Technically sound. If you enjoy watching just good wrestling matches and have an extra, 15 minutes? I think this was 14. Yeah, 13 minutes.
This match was
13-15.
Yes. Okay, before we go to the next match, I do want to talk about the pre-show a little bit.
Okay, take it ahead, bud.
They did an interview with Chelsea Green. Have you seen that interview yet? I think it was
not.
Kathy Kelly and Chelsea Green. They went to the top of I think it's called the BN Tower. CN Tower. I want to get this right. I don't want to get this wrong. But they have the thing where, you lock in CN Tower. You can lock into like a harness. You wear like a safety vest, kind of like a safety jumpsuit, and you walk around the top of the tower with no railing.
Oh no, screw that.
Would you like to know how tall that? Would you like to know how tall that is?
40,732 meters.
It is a 553.3 meter high tower. So if we do meters to feet, because we use
too dang tall is what it is, Joey.
What did I say? 553?
Yes.
0.3. That is 1,815 feet. That's a quarter of a mile high.
Too damn high.
Yes.
Too damn high.
You're over a quarter mile above the ground. I'm watching the interview, and it's like a thing where the safety thing is long enough and far enough to where you can put your feet on the edge and lean back. And you're supported by this safety device that goes to a rail that could fail and you fall quarter mile to your death.
I'm okay.
I'm watching that interview. I was doing dishes and I got like a Google Home on the window above the sink so I could watch whatever. And I'm watching that. I stopped what I was doing and I like basically did this.
No.
To say like I don't want to look at I can't function. I'm afraid of heights. I can't function.
Dude.
And I'm not like quarter mile, like, yeah, obviously quarter mile high, afraid of heights. I'm like third floor leaning over the edge, afraid of heights.
Okay. So that's
Second
reasonable
floor over the edge, afraid of heights.
Okay, that's a little much. But the thing is, like, they keep harping on it the entire match with her, and I think she oh wait. We are jumping ahead a little bit here.
I was just talking about the interview. I was just
talking about the interview. Sorry. I was jumping
just
to
talking about the interview.
My apologies. No, and I gotta say, she has kind of grown on me as a comedy character for sure.
Yeah,
she's hilarious.
Does really well.
She does really well. Would love to see Cardona back in the WWE soon. Just saying.
Please.
Just saying.
Please.
So
give him another shot. A Vince-less shot.
A Vince-less shot. Exactly.
Let him cook without Vince.
I think him and Cody have a few matches, but we digress.
Yes.
So this is the time, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is when Toronto legend Trish Stratus came out in between these matches. So that's one thing about the show is there's 5 matches.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of
3 hours long. A lot of filler. I mean, lots of filler.
I spent a lot of time not looking at the screen.
Like, don't get me wrong. I get it. This was the one where, because Backlash was light, Clash of the Castle was light. This is really the one where you could feel how light the card was. I don't know if that was just me, but I could feel like, oh my God, this is only 5 matches. Like all the other shows, I'm like, no, this is okay. You know, they can take some time up. This one, oh man. But anyway, so this one Trish Stratus comes out and she talks about how loud Toronto is and how great it is and everything. And she introduces John Cena, of all people. He comes out, he does his normal shtick. His merchandise says last time though. So I mean, from right then and there, I kind of figured it was a retirement.
Yeah. As soon as he showed the towel and says, "This is the last time," I'm like, so I thought he was retiring that day. Like, hey, this is it.
Well,
you'll never see me again.
If you watch it, he kind of makes it sound like that in the ring as well. And some of the, like I said, the merchandise makes it really confusing. Well, long story short is he is retiring at the end of 2025.
It's the end of 2025?
It's the end of 25, yeah.
Okay,
he's gonna be working
I thought WrestleMania was the end.
No. He said WrestleMania is not the end.
Okay.
So he's gonna have a nice lengthy run if he's actually going back. I don't know if it's gonna be full time, but he's gonna have some matches.
He'll probably be like the big events, you know, the big 4, and then maybe Saudi, just so that because Saudi's gonna want him. And then,
well, I mean, if he's doing one last big run, I mean, I could see him doing a big one. I mean, like maybe like that U.S. title last time he was actually full time. I mean, he doesn't need to wrestle all the time.
They'll probably put the belt on him just
to put somebody else over.
Yeah,
and to break the 17, you think?
I think so.
I think
just because. Yeah, but I think just because of the fact that he was WWE's. He was the
guy,
the Ruthless Aggression PG era like company guy for so long. They're gonna give it to him.
I can see that, and hats off to him. I'm really interested to see where and who he faces, especially the Mania match, SummerSlam matches will be interesting to see. Overall, I've seen a few people floated out there as people that should have be the last match for him. I won't speculate on the younger people, But I will say I've seen Randy Orton and CM Punk floated out there as possible last matches.
I think Punk would be a Raw, maybe a different PLE.
I've also
Or
seen AJ Styles floated out.
I've seen that. I've seen more Randy than anything.
Yeah, Randy's definitely the front runner, and I could see that. I was intrigued by the AJ Styles one. Yes, I do have a personal fan bias, but man, they just had some great matches towards the end of their both of their careers, respectively.
Oh yeah.
That Royal Rumble match is still a 5-star classic in my mind, even if Meltzer gave it 4.5 or whatever the hell he gave it.
So I just did like a little deep dive while you were talking about leading up to what was the Cena announcement. Regarding the number of matches, what do you think the average number of matches during every PLE except WrestleMania is?
7. Oh, shit.
Because Royal Rumble had 4. Because you had the two Rumble matches and then the other ones. And then I forget which one it was. One of them had 6, but every other PLE has had 5 matches.
Really? SummerSlam's not bigger than that?
Well, like this calendar year. So from Royal Rumble to now.
Okay, well that makes sense then. Okay.
Yeah. We'll see what SummerSlam's going to be like.
So if we're just forecasting here,
considering next year they're doing 2 nights.
Yeah, next year. Next year's 2 nights. So we know we got Gunther Priest. We know we got Nia Jax, Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 for sure. Some match of Liv and Rhea Ripley.
Yes.
Blood and probably Cody's
Logan
title match. And then Logan Paul. So that's 5 right there. Not counting probably an Uncle Howdy match. I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. Well, that one's an
IC match, maybe. You know,
that PLE is typically about 4 hours.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. You know.
Yeah. Especially okay, if you're gonna have a football stadium be the home to a live event, you better have like a lot of matches.
My thing is,
one, I know that's not cheap. Like, regardless, renting the space. Granted, their stages have gotten smaller or non-existent, where it's just an entryway with the LED boards in the corner.
Oh yeah.
But that rigging for the lights, and if they put a cage up there or whatever, like I know that ain't cheap.
No, I'm just saying, like, especially. Well, did you see the ticket prices for like Clash of the Castle? Like $300 for the cheap seats. And I get it. For Clash of the Castle, and I get it. They don't go there all the time and everything like that. But it's like, man,
what was
I didn't hear the other ones.
You make me
Backlash or anything.
SummerSlam.
I'm sure it was worth a lot. But look, let's get back to the matches. The next match was the triple threat match of. It was a singles match between Damian Priest and Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yes.
So,
do we want to discuss the elephant in the room first, or do you want to go through everything else?
No, let's discuss the elephant in the room. There was a giant botch that happened in the middle of this match. Don't know if everything I'm hearing, it just Priest just missed kicking out. So apparently wasn't dinged. The music wasn't supposed to go off. It was an unfortunate mess up. He literally just
was Seth even on top of Priest?
No. So like it was that Falcon Arrow pin where he kind of has
he kneed him in the
head.
Shoulders
right here.
Got him.
Just pop it.
Yeah, got him in the Falcon Arrow, and then I don't know that he's on top. I think he's just trying to grab his leg.
I don't even think he had the leg, to be honest with you.
So if he was like reaching for it, and Priest was like giving it to him, but I don't know that Seth was even on top of Priest to consider it a pin.
No, he was definitely on him. He was definitely on him because he was definitely on him. Yeah. He had everything about the pin except for the leg, right? Yeah. And like I said, he just missed that.
It might have been he thought like, oh, he doesn't have me pinned, so I'm not going to kick out. That's like 2. He thought might have been 1, or he was just like legit.
Maybe got his bell wrong. I mean, From everything I'm hearing, though, nobody's really like giving him a hard time, about it. There's just
No, it's
like one of those things that
them
just
things.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He I mean,
Great match beforehand, though.
I even thought that it was a mistimed music cue. Because, you know, when the music kicks in, you know, if the music would have kicked in right when he's pinning him, the ref could have got 2. Seth could have dropped him and just backed off like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's what a lot of people thought it was, right? Like, if people are like, well, even if the bell rang, why would that stop the pin? It's like, look, it's wrestling. Like, music has stopped
Stuff
the pin
doesn't have to make
many
sense.
a time.
There was a match between 2 referees back when the invasion angle was happening.
Yeah. Everything it doesn't need to make
and
sense.
It somehow turned into a tag match where it was a tag match. It was the WCW referees against the WWE referees.
Oh yeah.
Nick Patrick got kicked out of the ring, got thrown back in, and then Mike Chioda jumped the thing and just started beating the hell out of him. And it's like, y'all are referees, like y'all don't normally do this.
Y'all know
this is so weird. Yeah.
Oh,
y'all know better.
It was weird. So after that botch, like I said, good match leading up to it. You get all the greatest hits. Nice little counter on the Falcon Arrows back and forth. Then Drew's music hits. He comes in, runs wreck shot, hits his finisher. Who appears, Joey?
I just want to say before we go any further, when our predictions, mine was Seth, yours was Damian.
Yep.
Yes?
Yes, mine was Damian.
I did say add a Drew cash in.
Yep.
And then, you know, the match is going on. And I legit said, where is CM Punk? And as soon as I hit send and it got to everyone's phone that was in that group text, in he comes in. To which I then said, say his name and he appears.
That was great. That was very well timed on that one. Yeah, I mean, he showed up. They furthered the storyline with him. Don't really agree that he got fined for interfering with a triple threat match when it's not
storyline.
When I know, but come on, guys, let's keep up with the own fake rules that we've made up here, okay?
Yeah, but
Braun
even said it. But Braun even said it. Adam Pearce likes to throw out fines.
That's true.
To which he then said, "Yeah, well, let's go write a check."
But overall, man, I will say, I mean, it kind of devalues the men's Money in the Bank. A little bit of wet fart ending to that. I get it. It moves the storyline along, but
it sucks for like LA Knight is right there.
He's time right for Money in the Bank.
The people want him to succeed.
Well, I think he gets that title from Logan. I really do.
The U.S. title, he has to.
So
they cannot keep this on Logan.
Let's wrap this match up real quick, and I want to talk about one thing about Logan Paul. I would say overall in this match, I liked it. Men's cash in, it is what it is. It's the way they did the story. Notoriously, they've done this ever since they've had 2 Money in the Banks, where they'll have one gender cash in that night, and then the other one usually holds it for a while.
I will say, though, I do like the fact that now it's not a guarantee that you're going to win the belt. Like, you know, you had, who was it? Baron Corbin.
Oh, he was getting punished.
One. No, yeah. But then who was the other guy that cashed in and didn't win it?
Damien Sandow.
I forgot about him.
Are you talking about Theory?
Theory. Yeah. He cashed in. I thought he cashed in for the US title.
He did.
Yeah.
But he tried to cash in at Clash at the Castle in the first one and got hit by Tyson Fury, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. He's like, I'm gonna cash in. And Tyson Fury's like, no. So real quick about Logan Paul. I don't know if you've heard this or not. Funny little anecdote here. Have you heard? I don't know if that's actually an anecdote, but bear with me here. Have you heard that he is not going to be joining the WWE for their tour in Japan?
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Well, they're like, oh, he had prior engagements. I'm like, oh, you mean he's banned from the country?
He might be banned from the country because he went to a death forest
and showed somebody's
somebody dead
on
and
the
posted it on the internet. Yes.
Yeah. And made fun of it. So yeah. That was a fun thing I saw today. And I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I don't think he's gonna allowed to go. On that note, let's move to something more positive. We have the next match which you know what? When this happened, Joey,
I want to add because it's bugging me about who lost their cash-ins. Mr. Kennedy lost the briefcase to Edge, who then cashed in the next day.
Well, the reason what happened with Kennedy is that he wasn't supposed to lose it, but he had an injury that they weren't sure how long it was going to be. So it could have been, I think it was like a 2-week injury or 3-week injury or like an 8-month injury. But instead of getting him tested all the way and everything, they're like, no, it's probably the worst one. We're going to hot shot this. And nope. Did not, he turns out it was actually the less severe one. God, what? Like just a career like trajectory. Does that kind of change? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's crazy for that.
But I definitely think the worst one is Damien Sandow because he literally beat John Cena up when John Cena's arm was quote unquote hurt and still lost. Still lost the cash in. So, but anything else, bro?
Also, Theory was unsuccessful for the U.S. title.
Okay, I thought so.
And the only other technical unsuccessful would have been The Miz. When he took it from Otis. He won it from Otis because Otis won in 2020.
Yeah, but he
took it at Hell in a Cell. He cashed in at TLC when Styles and Drew McIntyre were going at it. But the cash-in was ruled invalid due to John Morrison cashing in on his behalf.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
So then he successfully did it at yes. So technically, there's only 3 unsuccessful cash-ins as of today.
God, burials, man, absolute burials.
Because the women are perfect in cash-ins.
They still got some time. It's only been since 2018.
I'm saying right now, but still, like they touted it in there by the numbers thing. They touted it in there by the numbers thing. The first person to win the women's Money in the Bank was a man. Okay,
with no chin.
Yes, James Ellsworth won the women's Money in the Bank.
Do you remember the backlash they got from that? And they're like, yes. Oh, well, technically a man can't win it, so let's redo the match. It was like a random SmackDown.
They did it on the very next SmackDown, and Carmella won it again with the help of
James Ellsworth.
Yeah. SmackDown general manager Daniel Bryan stripped Carmella of the contract 2 days after the event because of interference by Carmella's manager, James Ellsworth, who retrieved the briefcase for Carmella and dropped it to her. The June 27th episode of SmackDown Live was the next one, and she won it again.
Which, by the way, was the most obvious quote-unquote swerve of James Ellsworth winning it. I'm pretty sure every video I watched was like, yeah, Ellsworth's gonna fucking grab the briefcase and drop it to Carmella.
Yeah.
And to nobody's surprise. And then everybody's like, well, this is stupid. Like the fans are literally telling them, like, WWE, don't do this.
Oh my God. You told me this happened. Yeah.
Don't do this. And they did it. And we're like, this is dumb. And so they're just like, well, we'll fix it. Just have the same person win. Oh, so stupid. But perfect segue to the women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
Hey.
Where we had Zoe Stark going against Naomi, going against Lyra Valkyria, Io Sky, Chelsea Green, and Tiffany Stratton. I will say with this match, I definitely enjoyed the first viewing a lot more than the second viewing I did for kind of like breaking down the show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, there were some misses over there. There's a really bad one where Zoe Stark just completely
What was she trying to? I think. Okay, so I think
It's
she
like
was
she
trying
Ric
for
Flair
something.
rolled into the ring, but missed.
I honestly think she was trying for something, slipped, managed to hit her head on the ladder, and just that was the spot. like she went to jump up to do whatever. I gotta see what she did again. Like I remember seeing it, and all I like. If you haven't watched it yet, I'm gonna try to paint a picture for you. Okay, close your eyes, Tyler. Close your eyes. I want you to. Okay, think Zoe Stark.
Mhm.
Then I want you to think of like Wile E. Coyote, cloud of chaos around her, going up over the turnbuckle, and then you see that cloud come down, and then right when she hits, it's just her hitting her head on the ladder. That's what I imagine happened. Like that's what runs through my mind right now.
That was rough. I don't know about you, but my MVP in this match was Chelsea Green. Like the women had some good spots and everything in there, but the story she told throughout the entire match and the bump she took at the end, just hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. I mean, we had the normal spots, people getting slammed in the ladders and everything like that, but I knew it was coming, and I still popped when I saw those two tables being set up. I'm like, oh, Chelsea Green's going through these, 100%.
Yeah, just because of that pre-interview that they did. That's what made me think like she's eating that.
And I was like, oh, yep, there she goes. Woo! Which leads
the picture they got of that is phenomenal.
Oh yeah, no, right?
That is awesome.
They did a good job with that one for sure. And apparently she got a lot of praise in the back. And apparently she took that bump. She was just like before when they were trying to map it out. She's like, oh yeah, I'll do that, no problem. Like it was just no big deal for her. So hats off to her. She did really well.
I will say so. More of like the stuff we really don't pay attention to, us guys. My wife said this when she saw Tiffany Stratton's outfit. She's like, Mardi Gras? And I'm like, what? And so, because my wife pointed it out, I'm checking. She was wearing purple, green, and gold outfit, like Mardi Gras in Canada.
Yeah. I think that's kind of a designer's choice.
Women picked up on that faster because you notice, my wife picked it out, not like pointed that out, not me.
But but speaking of Tiffany Stratton, she was our winner. I definitely think she was, and it was kind of obvious with her, right? Like there's kind of like an archetype that works best.
It's Tiffy time.
Oh, I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I think it's gonna. She's rolling out a new Money in the Bank briefcase in like the next 2 weeks.
She's gonna hold on to that briefcase for probably 6 to 8 months, and be absolutely great. This is what's great about the Money in the Bank. So now she doesn't technically have to like challenge for the title or anything like that, but she's still in the main event scene.
Yeah,
and that way she can get her legs under her and then cash in at the perfect time. As long as she doesn't lose the cash in, this is just going to put her in the main event scene for a good long while. And hopefully it's against somebody like a Charlotte or a Bianca or,
they're going to put her against somebody who's really good.
Yeah.
I just watched the Chelsea Green spot again, and you see her flying through the air, and halfway through she just goes.
Yep.
So I want to see them make her death dive into a pool. Join the death diving competition because that would be funny. She just jumps in.
Oh my god.
But yeah, overall, Tiffany Stratton's going to do really well. I want to talk about some other spots in this match, by the way.
What you got?
So you had the spot where Naomi is on 2 ladders, and they start spreading apart, and so she's doing a split, and I'm watching the ladder do this, and I'm like, ooh, that's not going to be good.
That's going to hurt.
This is going to hurt pretty bad, and somehow she got out of it. So bravo for not getting injured on that. And the other one, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say bravo to Jimmy for Jimmy Uso too. Go ahead.
Yes, I want to talk about the spot where you had what's her name, Valkyria.
Yes, Lyra
Valkyria. She's hanging upside down. Io Sky's climbing. Lyria sits herself up, grabs Io by the waist, and does a suplex to the mat. That spot was awesome.
Yeah, that was a gnarly spot right there.
And then the other
I will
spot,
say, you can look at our text messages. I popped a lot during this match for the spots. Like the ladies really
delivered.
brought it. Yeah, they brought it. For
then,
sure.
Then the other spot where you had the ladder bridge, and Zoe Stark ate a lot of that one.
Dude, those ladder bridges are no joke.
No. She's like
nobody wins.
You see her up there trying to undo the briefcase. Io Sky sits there and says, no, this is mine. They start fighting back and forth. They're both trying to get it. And then Zoe Stark's like, well, I'm going to suplex you off this ladder. And Io Sky's like, absolutely not. Slams her head on the thing. And then I thought she had a concussion. The best part is the dismount. She lands on the ladder. She gets off the ladder. She's perfectly penciled straight up and down. Her arms go limp, and she just falls flat on her face.
Yep.
Like, that image is what sticks in my mind, was when she hits the ladder and then just...
Don't.
Yeah. So, great match. I think better of the two matches.
It was more entertaining, in my opinion.
Yeah. There was more spots, which, again, I just talked about. I don't want a lot of spots, but I enjoy a spot fest. I want a storyline, though. A little bit of story.
I felt like there's a little more intrigue with this one. Like, it wasn't as obvious. Like, yeah, you kind of knew it was either Tiffany Stratton or Chelsea Green, but you just weren't sure which one. Just because you know heels notoriously, or edgy good guys, are notoriously better with the briefcase than a white meat babyface, right? Like, that's not in their character to be a good guy and be like, oh, well, I'm going to steal your championship when you're at your lowest.
I don't know of any faces that have won the belt, that have won the briefcase,
or that have kept it.
Otis,
because like he lost it.
Yeah.
So let's move right along here. To
the longest match of the night. Longest match of the night
was
at 24 minutes.
Was the Bloodline, the new Bloodline.
By the way,
yeah,
did I get that match wrong?
I'm pretty sure I picked Tiffany Stratton for this one.
We both did. So right now, I am 4 for 4. No, I'm 3 for 4 because I picked Seth and got Damian wrong.
We're both 3 for 4 right now.
We're both 3 for 4 right now.
Both 3 for 4.
Now, I said, first off the match, the Bloodline, the new Bloodline, Bloodline 2.0.
Yes.
Against
Cody? Or have I seen him as the Wish Bloodline?
Timu Bloodline.
Timu Bloodline. So, versus the versus Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. So it's basically just continuation. They're the normal guy, the normal trio is fighting the Bloodline or the new Bloodline.
And Tonga Loa is not in this match. It's Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Solo.
So let's go with our we'll go with our picks real quick, and then we'll say the winner after that.
Mm-hmm.
So who'd you have, Joey?
I had Cody, Kevin, and Randy.
And I had the Bloodline.
I picked them on fuckery alone.
You just didn't think they would?
Because I thought there was going to be a Bloodline surprise.
I picked the Bloodline because I thought there was going to be a Bloodline surprise or debut or return, considering it's on the last match of the show, Money in the Bank. But Joe,
yeah.
we were both wrong on the surprises.
I was let down by this match.
So here's the thing. Let's just say the Bloodline ended up winning with Solo pinning Cody Rhodes, which I think only a few people have pinned Cody since he's been back. I want to say it's been Roman, The Rock.
Has it just been at WrestleMania?
Has Seth pinned him?
Wait,
before
Brock? Because him and Brock had a I thought they had three matches.
He passed out.
Oh, that's right.
I want to say it's just those three have pinned him since he's been back. Has been Roman, Rock, and Seth.
Wow.
Something like that. It's been,
who lost the tag titles? Was that
was Jay. Jay got ate the pin.
Damn. That's wild.
Yeah, so he's been uber protected, but add Solo Sikoa to that list of pinning Cody Rhodes. Clean. Well, it wasn't really clean, but
yeah, I was gonna say there was some shady stuff going on. That ref ate
all the stuff.
Bad body bump. Oh my god.
So my MVP of this match, Fatu, Jacob Fatu, everything he's been advertised to be.
He hurt everyone, including the ringside doctor.
Yes. I think they have a real problem with him with him in the same group with Solo.
You think that's going to be a power struggle?
I just think he overshowered. No, I'm not even talking storyline.
Oh.
I'm talking about like people's reactions and stuff. He's just going to overtake. He has more presence than Solo does. He has more of a move set than Solo does. And it's just my opinion. And it's not saying like, and when I'm saying this, I'm not trying to disparage Solo. It's more along the lines of realizing, holy crap, this guy's really good. And Jacob Fatu.
Well, I think honestly with Solo, it's going to be more about, that character.
Oh, of course.
I'm the tribal chief. And that's all he has to do. He's just got to be tribal chief 2.0. What I am ready for is when Roman comes back. I think that's like the biggest thing right now with this storyline, especially after what they did to Paul Heyman, who I still give him like the acting he did for this storyline deserves an award. His eyes were bloodshot
because he stayed up.
Like he had
the entire day before. He stayed up. He didn't sleep the night before.
Did he really? Oh my god! He looked like a man who hasn't slept. He looked like a guy who was tired. He just wanted to go to bed. He looked emotionally drained and worn out, and I loved every second of it. Paul Heyman deserves, he's in the Hall of Fame for wrestling. This dude needs to be in, he needs a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He needs an Oscar,
he's a true legend.
An Emmy. He needs everything. He is fantastic at what he does.
I couldn't agree more, man.
When just that part of the storyline was making me excited. Now it's like, holy crap, I cannot wait for this payoff. This is going to be such an amazing payoff. I know what it is. You and I both know after watching that behind the curtain.
Yeah.
We know what's coming.
Oh, it's completely a bloodline civil war.
It's Rock Roman at Mania. Easily. Rock Roman at Mania. Bloodline Civil War at Survivor Series. It's a fantastic time to be a wrestling fan, and I love it.
I think Cody's going to factor in somewhere. I truly believe he's not done with The Rock yet. Because they have the whole thing of what The Rock give him and all this stuff. But real quick, I think we both agree that this match sets up Solo Sikoa versus Cody for the championship at Mania. I mean, at SummerSlam, not Mania.
Mm-hmm.
We're just talking about Mania. At SummerSlam. I think we could get a Roman return there, but more than likely your main event. We'll see how it goes. I know it's going to have all the bells and whistles of a Cody match. And I hope it's a good one. I have faith. We'll see how it goes. Triple H, we believe in. So, that was anything else you want to add about this match? Oh wait. One thing I do want to touch on about this match.
Mm-hmm.
Tonga Loa. Oh my goodness. I'm going to hope that he did take a pretty nasty dive into the announce table where it looked like he smacked his head.
Yeah.
But he had a spot where Kevin Owens picked up Tama Tonga for a package pile driver, and the spot was supposed to be he gets a low blow from Loa. Dude, at first he just straight up tries to punch him in the butt, or he did punch him in the butt. At least take him to dinner first before you try to fist him, okay?
No, it's the second. It's the second attempt.
It's the second, and then the second attempt, he does get the low blow, but inadvertently punches his brother in the head at the same time. Like
you know how Tama Tonga has that like like that
yeah.
kind of thing on. All I could hear is when he got punched in the head is
Well, you see his face? You kind of see his face go, ah. Look. It's I recommend if you don't watch any part of the match, just go watch that. That is absolutely hilarious. One of the funnier botches I've ever seen because you can kind of see Kevin Owens too, like kind of get hit, and he's like, "Whoa, what the heck?"
what? Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, hey, yeah.
But overall, good show. Sets up a bunch of stuff. It advances the CM Punk storyline, the Drew McIntyre storyline, which after the event he ends up elbowing Adam Pearce in the head.
Well, first he goes on the
Post-show
desk
panel
of the
or whatever.
post-show panel, and he just starts losing his mind. And the referees come out, and they get shoved everywhere. Then Adam Pearce comes out trying to. I don't know why he's hugging him to pull him off. Gets him off of him, and then it just
And
he like elbows him. I'm like, Adam Pearce, please fuck him up. That'd be. I want to see that happen.
Hey,
like,
Adam Pearce is a former NWA champion, sir.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I want to see him. I want to see him in the ring. Like, is he retired from like competition or?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, you had that. I'm interested to see where they go with Tiffy time, and just see where all these little kind of branches really spread out to. But I do, before we wrap everything up today, I do want to touch on the Raw that just happened this past Monday. First off, look, I'm thoroughly enjoying all the Uncle Howdy stuff right now. I really feel like it's not leading so much into the supernatural, like it kind of was getting with the Fiend and everything like that. It's leaning more into just, I mean, lack of a better term, mental instability. Because there's not hokey pokey, like there's
you don't have Firefly Funhouse, you don't have the Fiend, you don't like. I get that.
I do love.
Go ahead.
How they explained I love how they explained everybody. Like, like Huskus the Pig Boy. How can you be a glutton for punishment and still not be loved, or something along those lines? I'm like, well, that's freaking great. Like, you left alone, calling out for Mercy the Buzzard. Just, and I love the way they showed Eric Rowan, where I was like, there's been too much pain, and they showed his face. I'm like,
I saw that, and I go, oh,
yeah.
I love what they're doing. I like that they're kind of getting away from that. I kind of like they're getting away from that. Yeah. But I'm just ready to see them in a match. I'm ready to see this whole thing play out the way it's going to. I slightly freaked out and I scared Alexis a little bit. So you see that video, you see that tape, right? And then it cut to a promo, and then it's Adam Pearce walking in to his office. I forget who stops him. Oh, Chad Gable stops him.
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh, they're coming after me. Like, what is like?" And so he tells him, like, "Don't you think it's you? Yeah, do something about it. Like, it's." So he leaves. Adam Pearce opens the door, and you just see. Are we calling him Bo Dallas?
Yeah, just call him Bo Dallas right now.
Yeah, you see him kind of like this, and then he turns his head, and I just instantly just like watching it. I see him open the door, and I go,
yeah, that's exactly what I'm like.
It's like, oh my god, I can't wait to see what that payoff is.
My prediction, I think the payoff is that you're getting Chad Gable versus Uncle Howdy at SummerSlam.
I think you are too, but I wonder if are they painting this as, you know, Bo Dallas is here, like I'm trying to keep him at bay, but it's not working. And so I think you're gonna have Howdy is taking over.
I think they're gonna do something like that, or they're gonna have something along the lines of Uncle Howdy is kind of like the way the Fiend was with Bray Wyatt, where Bray can control it and everything like that, and he's just like, okay, it's time to mess some people up. Let's let him out.
But I think they're gonna do where it's Bo Dallas is trying to control it, and he's losing control. Because when you watch those vignettes and you watch those videos, you see that, you see that chaos happen, and you see, he's talking, and then it's both voices are talking.
I like that. I like the fact that they're kind of painting it as he's taking on the pain of Mercy and Ramblin' Rabbit and Huskus and and Abby. So I love all of it. I'm interested to see what they.
Huskus.
There's only 5
Abby,
of them.
Mercy. Oh, Ramblin' Rabbit.
Yeah, Ramblin' Rabbit.
I was saying, I'm like, you didn't mention all of them, did you?
But
that was a good
I'm gonna say about that. I can't wait to see it fully fleshed out. It definitely keeps me on the edge of my seat each and every week. Just to see that. And I like the way they've been doing it of like, hey, we're gonna get this one thing in the beginning, give you a little taste, and then we'll pay it off towards the end towards like hour 2 or 3 of the show.
I do want to say that every time when like we're in a group text with, it's like y'all 2 and us 2, and Emily will text the picture of Uncle Howdy, and I'm like, shit, I'm missing it. And so then I'm hurrying it up, trying to like, oh wait, it's not happened yet. And
you do realize she's
send it again.
She's doing that just to mess with you now.
I know. It's gotta stop.
So anything else to add? I'll let her know that. But anything else to add on Uncle Howdy right now? Because there's only one more thing I want to talk about.
I want to talk about that same thing.
So let's do it. Your main event for Raw was Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan versus Selena Vega and Rey Mysterio. Pretty much standard mixed match
challenge.
No, match. Tag team.
Mixed gendered match.
Yeah, exactly.
Intergender. Yeah.
So basically at the end of the match, you have Rey at the top. Looks like he's about to give Dominic a reverse Rana from the top rope. Liv hits the ropes, crotches Rey. Rey falls down. Dominic turns around, hits the splash. 1, 2, 3. I didn't realize it was his first win over his dad. Because sworn he had one earlier. But then as they're celebrating, he hugs Liv out of enjoyment.
Well, he doesn't hug her.
No, he did at first. He hugged her.
At first he did. Then he goes like this.
Yeah. And she jumps on him. And then apparently Liv Morgan is the heaviest woman ever to be created because she just brings him down like
Dominic is the weakest person in WWE.
Either way, because the way she brings him down looked like a professional move there for a second. And they're face to face and they're looking lovey-dovey deep in each other's eyes. And they just hear, "This is my brutality." And I lost my shit. I mean, it was so obvious what was going to happen, but it was so great.
Damian, after talking to Seth, when, oh, by the way, we forgot to mention the stipulation that is no longer a stipulation.
Oh, yeah.
He'll never face him as long as Damian's champion, which I'm good with. I'm good with that. Like,
I think they're just kind of doing a payback.
I think the CM Punk thing just kind of like, hey, you didn't win. I didn't win clean. I'll give you another shot.
Yeah.
And I like that they painted it as like a look. I respect you. I think eventually there's going to be a shift in the Judgment Day heavily. But
the breakup's coming.
As soon as you hear like Seth leaves, and then you see Damian just go, yeah, where are you at? Okay. And it's like, I know who that is.
Yeah,
There's not many people that could be. I know who that is. And Rhea Ripley comes out. And
can we just talk about how loud that place was?
Oh, it went nuts.
My God. I don't think they didn't stop talking until she left.
Were they
screaming?
Where were they at? Ottawa?
I believe so, but I mean, that's not our home country or anything like that. They just lost their minds. It was awesome to watch.
Yeah. And then they go in, like you see Liv just like, nope, forget this.
Like Wile E. Coyote, that thing just like out of there.
She left her title.
Like, yeah, everything.
Like the timekeeper's area. Rhea kind of goes by the announce table looking at Liv and then immediately flips and goes, I'm going after you now, Dom. Gets right in Dom's face.
She yells something, but you don't hear it though.
Dom with his stupid, dumb, like he needs to shave off his mustache. Like it just no. Stop it. Like you're every stereotype. You're every stereotype that you can be with that mustache, Dominic. Stop it.
She gets right in that mustache's face and just lays into him saying something.
She said,
just walks back like a puppy dog.
She says, "Look at me. What are you doing? Mommy's back." And then she says something else. And she says, "Mommy is back." And then starts walking out. And because USA Network wants you to watch this dumb, stupid Survivor knockoff show from New Zealand.
You have to survive New Zealand, dude.
They cut it off before they could even get down the ring or down the ramp, where more stuff happened that you had to wait for WWE to post on YouTube to see.
You talking about whoop? Liv looking through the thing and laughing?
No, that was something different.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
It was no, it was just like more of like he's trying to just be like, "Hey, welcome back," and she's like having none of it.
She's like, I've been watching Raw.
Yeah.
But that pretty much wraps up all the shenanigans that are going on in WWE right now. It's a great time to be a fan. We're reaching SummerSlam season, so it's the second biggest show of the year. It's going to be a good one.
Second
or third, depending on how you view the Royal Rumble.
I would put Royal Rumble ahead of SummerSlam.
I'm just going by. Hey, look,
I would honestly do Survivor Series fourth, only because they still do it in arenas. They don't do it in stadiums yet.
Well, it's because they nearly killed it not too long ago.
I'd put. Well, I think War Games put in some
saved it
adrenaline in it.
Yes.
Next, all they need to do is just redo World War III, and they're set.
I mean, I watched it. So
speaking of World War III, I watched the one from 1998. The one Kevin Nash won.
Yep.
Whoo, man! I don't know how I thought that was better than the Rumble.
Because we were kids.
Like first off, there's 3 rings. Everybody's in the 3 rings.
Oh, I know.
At the same time at the start, and it's just go, and you just start seeing bodies go off. Kevin Nash cleared ring 3 by himself.
Yeah, see, that's the fun of the Rumble. The Rumble is like, oh, who's coming out next? You know what I mean?
Well, it's also they had 60 people that they had on their roster to be like, go ahead. Yep. I don't know how they had 60 people.
Well, it's just like look at AEW. You'd be amazed at some of the people that are actually under contract getting paid to be there that just don't work. Like, what is Miro doing? Like, is he still under contract with them? If he is, then he's literally getting paid to do nothing. Like, he has done nothing.
I do know him and Lana got a divorce.
Oh. Well, that's not good. I was trying to make a Russian joke.
But that was really weird because she came in. Like, she came in to do that thing where she was chasing him around.
Oh, I'm the Redeemer, but I'm scared of my wife, and then nothing.
And then they got the divorce.
Like, I don't have enough. I hate to say it.
I'm not getting into their personal lives. It was a
headline. No.
I'm like, oh, that sucks.
I was talking about AEW. Like,
no, yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I really feel like AEW is just devolved into a show of like, oh, they're putting on All or Nothing this weekend. I mean, Double or Nothing this weekend. Oh, it looks like a pretty good card. I'll pay for it. But it's just hard for me to take the 2 hours to watch it every Wednesday and the 2 hours to watch it every Saturday. And yes, I don't count Rampage. It's just hard, man. Like, storylines just haven't been there lately. But anyway, well, let's not end on a negative. WWE, keep doing what you're doing. We're a month away from football. I'm looking forward to that. Broseph, anything you would like to cover?
2 things. Well, 3 things. Right now, as of recording, the ESPYs are going on.
Nice.
I just put it on to see what's going on, and they're showing the Pat Tillman Award that they're giving to Prince Harry, which makes no damn sense. Pat McAfee got into it. I'm going to leave it at that. I agree with his opinion. That
let's leave that one alone. We don't want to jump into that.
Second, as you see by my hashtag after last week, well, my hashtag over here.
Yes, gone.
Last week was Berhalter out. This week it's Berhalter gone. He was fired yesterday. This morning, as we record on Thursday, July 11th, U.S. Soccer was reaching out to former Liverpool coach Jurgen Klopp, who everybody in the United States that's a soccer fan wants him to be the head coach of the U.S. men's national team, politely turned us down because
man.
I'll give it to him. He wants a break.
Okay, well, I mean, look,
Coaching at Liverpool's been rough. He did win Liverpool their first Premier League title, and I'm pretty sure, and I don't think they won the Champions League when he was there.
He's like, guys, I just want a vacation for a little bit.
He wants a break. I don't blame him. He probably also wants to try to coach, if he's going to coach a national team, coach a German national team. I don't blame him there either.
No, you can't really blame him.
So the search is back open. People are trying to say Pep Guardiola from Man City because they're expecting Pep to leave Man City when they get there. I think it's like 100 and something financial fair play allegations, found guilty of all of those. And they basically get relegated because there's only one way that you solve that problem. And I don't see it. I see more LAFC's Steve Cherundolo probably taking it, former U.S. national team player.
Okay.
I think he would get it. Do I have someone else on my wish list? I've seen I can't remember his name, but he used to be the German national team coach. You would know him because he's the most famous nose picker and butt sniffer on the planet. He'd dig in his pants and then he'd that guy.
Why would I know it?
Because we watched a World Cup together where I was like, oh, look, it's a most famous nose picker. And you're like, what? And then next shot, you see him digging in his crotch and going,
oh, I thought you were taking a bet, like trying to take some pop shot at me. The show was
no, I'm not taking a pop shot. I'm saying this because you would know who he is. Yogi Low. That's his name. You would know him from that. That's the only reason I'm taking a shot. You would know him from that. Nothing else. Don't read into that. Anything else. My apologies.
I was like, I thought we were friends.
I messed up, AA Ron. All right, leave me alone.
It's okay. I forgive
thirdly,
you, buddy.
also you. Going. It happens. Actually, I have two other things. Thirdly,
but wait, there's more.
Copa America tried to have their own version of the Malice at the Palace last night with I don't know what to call it. The Fight at the Bank, I guess, because it's Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. So what ended up happening was
what happened?
Uruguayan Uruguay and Colombia played each other in the semifinal for Copa America. Colombia won, advancing to the final to face Argentina. Some of their fans, while there was a fracas, a brouhaha on the field after the game, began to come at the Uruguayans' family members, apparently. And so some of the players ran into the stands and started fighting fans.
Oh, fun. That's always a good sign.
Like I said, Malice at the Palace 2.0. Yeah, but the difference was it wasn't. So I'll give them if it truly was like their family members were there and Colombian fans were getting in their faces. I get that. Somebody said it best. Okay, so the European Championships are going on right now. The final there is Spain and England. Viva la Spain, even though I'm Italian. I don't want England to win. I'm saying that now. So like European Championships are going on. Like the semifinals were in the morning. Copa America semifinals were in the afternoon. And it's like watching the Euros is like watching a fine ballet where they have swords and it's, gentlemanly fighting and all that. Watching Copa America is like watching a bar fight happen where the dudes got rusty spoons and trying to stab each other with it. That's exactly what it is. Like, you get the professionalism-ish from the Euros and you get the, we're going to jack you up in the Euros.
Like we're just going to try to make sure we win by biting kneecaps and everything in the Copa America. I got you, buddy.
Basically.
What's that last thing you want to cover, bud?
Back to the ESPYs. I know I kind of sandwiched it. But like we said, we want to end on a good note. The Arthur Ashe Award for Courage goes to someone who shows courage in any kind of,
Gleason,
strife.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Steve Gleason is receiving the Arthur Ashe Award for Courage. I'm trying to pull up past winners.
It's I will say while you're doing that, it's a true miracle he's still around with us.
Yes.
It's true inspiration. Way to show that, like, don't take life for granted at all. Comes at you fast.
Jim Valvano won the first one.
Yep.
And that's where you get the famous speech. Howard Cosell, Muhammad Ali, Dean Smith, Billie Jean King.
Didn't Stuart Scott win it too?
I think so. They had Pat Tillman.
Yeah, it's a great award that really just shows
Nelson Mandela, Pat Summitt, Robin Roberts, Michael Sam, Caitlyn Jenner, Bill Russell. No, he won the. There's another one, the Jimmy V Award.
Yeah.
The last one was the U.S. Women's National Team, and then the one before that was Vitaly Klitschko. Just to kind of give you the names, there's not that many.
God, man, I'm just gonna say right now, I don't agree with the Michael Sam one, but that's a whole nother story.
It was the start. He was the first one. I agreed with it. I agreed with it.
But let me
were
tell
there
you,
people? Were there people? Were there other people involved? Yes, but
here's the thing. Okay, you know what? Arthur Ashe Award. He probably did deserve it. He did come out. He was the first one with that. I guess my issue is that let's not say he didn't make the NFL because he was gay.
No.
I will say that probably didn't help his draft stock. I'll say that first and foremost. But him also being severely undersized was.
He went to Mizzou, right?
Yeah. He won SEC Defensive Player of the Year. The biggest issue was he was only like 6 foot, and he was like 280. So he was bigger. He was shorter. Like he just had the measurables, dude. Like he was just, and it was unfortunate. He just didn't make the team. But he was a great college player. I ain't gonna take that away from him.
That's
why I said
stuff. That's the on-field stuff.
That's why I said to Arthur Ashe, he probably deserves it.
Yes,
I was wrong by saying that originally. I'll admit that. Arthur Ashe probably did.
I get what you meant, but I get what you meant. Like he was.
God, he's one of those guys like Tim Tebow. Like, who's another?
He was big in college. Athlete. He was big in college.
No. What I mean is just like my issues with them, or I guess their stories, is more along the lines of how they're covered and how they're portrayed, more than them themselves. Like Tim Tebow, I never had an issue with, but when he's getting shoved down my throat as the next big thing,
I can agree. I get what you're saying. It's It's kind of like, I'll put it in today's terms. Okay, not the same story. I'm not saying it's the same story, but like the part of shoving it down your throat, Bronny James.
Yes, 100%. Oh my goodness.
He's averaged 2 points at USC. He's had maybe 7 points in total in the summer league games he's played in.
But Joey plays great defense though. Like, oh my goodness, he's just such a glue guy. Like,
but the defense is not the NBA today.
So let's not. Before I dive down that rabbit hole, because we could talk another hour about this one.
We'll bring that up at the next episode.
100%, we will.
We'll talk about that next episode.
We're too deep in this episode to get me started.
But I do want to go back to the original reason why we were talking about the Arthur Ashe Award.
Yeah.
Steve Gleason receiving it, for everything he's done for ALS research, and honestly, the fact that I want to say he's outlived his time left when he was diagnosed, and still fights and still does all this amazing stuff for ALS awareness and research. Like,
hats off to him, man.
It's one of those things where you admire him for the man he is and for the fighter he is. And I tell you what, he's got to be the funniest dude to talk to, because he gets on Twitter. He gets on Twitter and he's like, "I'm so nervous, I can't move." His Halloween costume when he's on national TV is saran wrap wrapped around his head, covering his mouth and everything, because he uses a breathing tube. And it's just like, oh my God, like, take it with stride. And he runs like a gazelle.
He's amazing. 100%, man. Couldn't agree with you more.
But if you're in New Orleans, go see the Rebirth statue by the Superdome. It's him blocking the punt, probably the most famous block punt ever.
I
don't care what anybody says. There could be a block punt in the Super Bowl. The most famous block punt will be Steve Gleason blocking Koenig's punt in the Superdome.
When we come back. Yeah, 100%.
I'm not, and this is not me being a homer. I'm taking my Saints fandom out of it. This is the number one block punt.
The historical significance, the national stage, like you couldn't ask for more. And I agree with you. Everything he stands for now, he's done absolutely phenomenal, bringing awareness to ALS itself, and it's just a true beacon of how to be strong and everything. But on that note, Joey, is there anything else you'd like to talk about, bud?
No, that's it.
All right, man. Well, it's another amazing episode. We'll have more to bring to you, and we're just heating up, ladies and gentlemen. Come on back. Until next time.
Deuces.